Thank you very much, and I want to thank the chair for her leadership on the military sexual assault issue, and we continue to work on this as a bipartisan issue and one that men and women on both sides of the aisle care a great deal about. Thank you all for your service to our country, and to those of you at the VA for your service to our veterans. I want to focus in, we're very fortunate, I'm from New Hampshire. We work out of the White River Junction VA Hospital and the Manchester, New Hampshire. It's not a full service hospital, but one of the things that we have in both of those locations is brand new facilities in very old historic hospitals, but brand new facilities for women. And I just want to commend to my colleagues the notion that when these were being designed, they actually brought in women veterans, worked very, very closely, particularly around I would say sort of mental health and level of comfort issues. The design in White River Junction for the entrance was very carefully thought through so that women would feel safe in this facility, would feel safe coming and getting care. I believe it's an all-female staff for the services, and so just a lot of thought went into asking the women veterans, what is it that you need to come in and get the care that we're here to provide. And I want to commend that all around the country, that approach, and to be, as we always talk about in this committee, veteran-centric, and in this case, very sensitive. I've worked with the chair on her concerns on military sexual trauma, and I just wanted to follow up with all of you about the availability of care for sexual assault survivors, and what more we could be doing. Do you see any gaps? We would be more than happy to follow up with legislation, but just if you have any thoughts on that topic, or more broadly, mental health issues generally, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, any of those thoughts that you might have.
I would first say, VA provides some of the state-of-the-art best care for survivors of sexual assault, male and female population. And in that vein, we want to make sure that the providers themselves have the time to provide the evidence-based treatments that we know work in treatment, and be able to spend the time with these veterans that they need. They're often very complex cases, suicidal ideation, other substance use disorder associated with it, depression, along with PTSD. So we have expressed some concern, to really want to look at those staffing levels in terms of, VA has said that they've met a minimum standard across the country, and Dr. McCutcheon could probably talk to that more, but I think our concern is, has there really been an independent study done of that staffing levels and the number of hours that it takes for the prescribed treatments that VA does have available in their arsenal. And we've heard from providers in the past that they don't, feel that they have the time to spend with veterans that they want and to do PTSD treatment. So that would be my point on that.
Thank you. Any of the others, or Dr. McCutcheon, if you'd like to
I may
weigh in.
follow up from some of the comments from Ms. Elam. We report to Congress every year on our capacity to provide MST-related mental health care. And the report this year shows that every facility across the country does have that capacity to provide that care. And also, as what Ms. Elam said, is that we're very proud that we're able to offer the gold standard of treatment for our veterans who've experienced MST. As you know, MST is not a diagnosis, but there are many diagnoses associated with MST, with post-traumatic stress disorder being the most frequently, most prevalent diagnosis. And so at the VA, we do train our clinicians on these gold standards of cognitive processing therapy, prolonged exposure. We also provide evidence-based therapies for depression. So we have this as part of our clinical treatment. And you're right also to mention that we have many men in our system that have also experienced MST. And up to 3 years ago, there were actually more males in our healthcare system than women. And so we also give the same attention to our males who've had this experience.
Well, I just want you all to know that we have a focus on this, that we want to make sure to, first of all, stop the practice completely and protect all of our servicemen and women, but that we will continue to follow this very closely. And thank you. I yield back.